If you really can catch the culprit and punish him, no problem, do it. If you can't do it, then don't kill innocent people. Islam does not agree with that. And I gave a talk, is terrorism a Muslim monopoly, in Birmingham, NEC. And there I've told that if you go to the US site, US Department of Justice on info, please, if you go on that site, there are many terrorist organizations, more than 50% are Muslims, out of which ULFA, India, has done 749 attacks in the last 16 years. More than any other terrorist organization, that organization is not mentioned there. Why? Al-Qaeda has mentioned 28 attacks, all suspects, none proved. ULFA, 749 attacks, all proven. That is not there on their site. These acts should be condemned. We cannot kill innocent people, so you have to realize that whoever is telling that these acts are correct, they are totally against the Quran and Sunnah. Ask them for proof. Know what the Quran says. If the culprit is caught, and if he's punished, that's fine. But you can't kill innocent people.
Thank you very much.
I'm still receiving many questions on slips from the sisters' side. Let me remind them that if they want their question to be answered by Dr. Zakir, then you have to come on the mic and ask questions. Please, sisters, come on the mic and ask questions. Thank you. Maybe the next question from the sister.
Dear brother Zakir, Assalamu alaikum. I'm greatly honored today that I've got an opportunity directly asking you a question. Although till now I'm only watching your DVDs, and I'm a great fan of your topics. My question is directly related to the topic, that is educating our children. My question is that in a proper Muslim education system, should any importance be given in teaching our children about the national identity, or emphasis should be only in religious identity? Don't you think that by not teaching our children about their own country's history, how it was formed and how we got freedom from the colonial powers, they will lack essential knowledge about history of their paternal roots, and how IIS, that is your school, which have students from all parts of the world, you are coping with this side of education? Are you teaching only Islamic history, or are equipping their minds with ample knowledge about their own respective countries as well? Thank you.
This was the question that in an ideal Islamic school, should we even teach about the country, about the national activity, about national history, about the freedom fight, and how are we coping in IS? As far as the general answer is concerned, that in an Islamic school, we should even talk about the country. There's no problem at all. We can talk about the laws of the country, we can talk the rules and regulations of the country, but we have to realize that number one, our allegiance goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should not go against the country unless the law of the country goes against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the law of the country does not go against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to follow each and every law of the country. As far as India is concerned, I am aware that there is not a single rule in the Constitution of India which forces any Muslim to do any haram activity. Neither does it prohibit you from doing anything which is fard. For example, the Indian government doesn't say that drinking alcohol is fard. Optional. So they don't force you to do anything which is haram, neither do they prohibit you to do something which is fard. Salah is allowed. In fact, they have a separate Muslim personal law. So I would say that among the non-Muslim countries in the world, I would put India to be among the top. One of the best countries where Muslim can live. I may disagree with certain policies. So I say I am a very good Muslim as well as a very good practicing Indian. But if any law of any country, whether it be India, whether it be UK, USA, Singapore, if it contradicts with the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our allegiance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more because He is our creator. He has given us life. Our country has been beneficial to us, may have given us certain things, job, etc. But nothing compared to our creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our allegiance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more. So if they don't contradict, we have to follow all the rules and regulations. If certain rules and regulations contradict, that particular thing we need not follow. So we have to teach our children to be good citizens also. What's wrong? You should be a good Muslim. So he should follow the rules and regulations as long as it doesn't contradict Islam. As far as history is concerned, of course, what we do, that we see to it, sometimes some history which is not relevant, we don't teach. So then it's at our liberty, we teach the history which is required. In our school, Islamic International School, we have children who are actually British nationals, but they have parents. Parents also British, maybe the grandparents are Indian, the origin is Indian. So we have students from USA, from UK, from Saudi, from other parts of the world. But basically all have got Indian origin, all of them. So you can call them Indians or you can call them many are foreigners. But we have selected the world history. We have option of taking Indian history or world history. The world history we felt has got more scope for us for doing dawah. It talks about the lifestyle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, about Moses, peace be upon him. So it's 2 in 1. So we